Good morning, everyone. Welcome to day 13. Amazing. We're just flying through Advent together. And the theme this morning is the sweetness of silence. This theme came to me as we were chanting yesterday morning. And yesterday morning, the psalm that we were chanting ended with an interesting phrase: "Darkness is my only friend." I invited you to reflect on what it's like when you simply open up to various experience of darkness in your own life. And my hope in that invitation was that you would experience, as you open to it, a resting, a certain quality of stillness. And in that stillness, a certain completion. When our inner waters are stirred and we have a sense of discontent and dissatisfaction leading us further along our path, and then that is leading us into a certain darkness because we're in the unknown, we can oftentimes create a movement in our lives that takes us away from stillness. A movement that fills our calendar with many appointments, a movement that catches up our minds in figuring out a problem or supposedly processing everything. And I would say a majority of the movement that we choose in moments of darkness, a majority of that movement is just to fill where we're uncomfortable with emptiness. Allowing ourselves to come into a stillness, we find that there is a dynamic, divine movement happening. And that stillness opens up to us a different place from which we move. We become one with the scripture line that I quote so often: God is that in which we live and move and have our being. Stillness is not only the path, but it is also a quality wherein we discover the dynamic movement of spirit within us. Now, oftentimes, stillness is a choice that we human beings make. Oh, I'm going to take a day and sit in stillness, or I'm going to take a day and read and be away from all my activity. And that's good. That's a beginning step. That is a introduction to settling into the stillness that I'm referring to. But the stillness I'm referring to that leads to a sweetness, an inherent sweetness, is one in which we are so deep in the inner waters that we find a certain completeness and we have the direct, immediate experience of God, Spirit, Source moving within us. I can give you a little bit of an example. Let's say you were looking out at the ocean, and as you stood on the beach, you saw the vastness of the ocean before you, and the ocean evoked a certain stillness. In fact, the ocean looked so vast in its big blueness and its all-encompassing view, the way it would fill the horizon, that it looked still, right? Sometimes we look at water and it looks still. And yet, there is dynamic movement happening within the ocean that's creating the harmony and the synchronicity that is supporting life in all its forms. So the ocean is far from still, even though many people allow themselves to go to the ocean to come to a place of stillness. So today I'd like to invite you to join me in a practice of stillness. And this form of meditation is going to be very, very simple. I'm going to use this bowl and I'm going to tap it. And as I tap it, I'd like you to follow the sound The sound will be loud at first, and it will get softer and softer. And just let yourself easily, not with great effort, move into the sound. Let the sound fill your body, but then just follow it as it becomes lighter and lighter and moves into what? Relative silence. Because the wakings of the day are happening around us, so we're never in complete silence, are we? Even in the home where I landed at my friend's here in Colorado, I'm finally home. I can hear people above me waking up and taking showers and washing dishes. So there are the sounds of earth awakening. We're not in complete silence, but we are in the deep primordial silence in which things awaken. So let's awaken this morning in that silence. So I'm simply going to use the bowl, but I'm going to begin as well with the chant, O Kwam. I'll just use part of the chant. And it's a chant that's on my CD, but also is the principal antiphon for the feast of Corpus Christi, the body and blood of Christ. And since we're coming to the feast of Christmas, the birth of Christ, and we're asking to be birthed anew in body and blood, it seems an appropriate chant for our Advent series. So I invite you to close your eyes and notice that you are already being held in this stillness. Remember to follow the sounds. Let them bring you into the dynamic movement of spirit that has the quality of stillness. O quam suavis est Domine Spiritus tuus, qui ut cedinem inane. O Spirit, O breath of life that moved over the waters before creation as we know it came to be. Move over the waters that are you informing us. Stir them from the deep primordial silence. Bring us into the stillness that allows us to awaken into the fullness of creation that we are. And in our awakening, allow the rest of creation to be caught up in the joy of your movement. And we bring this morning's devotion to a close. I invite you to open your eyes. And if you will, make a commitment today to walk in stillness and allow the only movement to be that dynamic movement of spirit. Blessings, my friends.